The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
We'll be running a new rubric for you, which we have called Open to Investment. We'll be waiting for the active feedback and news from the businesses that seek opportunities and need guidance in this process. Our first story runs exactly along these lines. Our reporter Lika Gurabanidze will tell you more about how owners of Bebnisi Lakes are in search of the investor and raising the money.
The lakes in Bebnisi village of Kareli district are looking for an investor or are up for a sale. Both existing lakes are fed by groundwater. In the 70s of the last century, dams on the lakes and canal leading to the Mtkvari were built, after which two lower and upper lakes were formed. This area was a kind of recreation for the population. In the 90s, fish in the lakes were completely destroyed, which was caused by poaching. Trees were also cut down all around. The lake was polluted and turned into a landfill. The lakes and several plots around it are currently owned by the founders of the company Bebnisi Lake. For years, Bebnisi Lake took care of the restoration and maintenance of this area, and the infrastructure of the lakes was built. In particular, the lakes were dried several times to clear the seabed of the debris. Also, the area around the lakes has been completely rehabilitated and cleaned of garbage. New trees have also been planted. The canals between the lakes and the Mtkvari were fenced and cleared. There are 4 species of the fish in the lakes. Around-the-clock duty was imposed to prevent the trees from being cut down and the illegal extraction of fish from taking place. To do this, watchtowers and buildings were built. The founders of the company planned to develop the infrastructure of the tourist recreation complex in and around these areas, which would be interesting for both the development of local tourism and for attracting foreign tourists. The project envisaged the placement of 12 hotel-type cottages in the pine forest northeast of the lower lake, which would connect the restaurant with light pedestrian paths and a bridge. A tasting cellar and billiards were also to be planned in the restaurant. As for the upper part of the lake, a 12-room hotel complex was planned to be built in the northwest. The building was equipped with access roads to the hotel, parking, pedestrian and bicycle lanes. A restaurant was to be arranged in the hotel. On both lakes, the project envisages the arrangement of a small platform of light construction for amateur fishermen, given that the lakes have an abundant supply of fish. The owners of Bebnisi Lake are ready to talk to investors and raise funds for the project. According to the founders of the company Bebnisi Lake Ltd, several millions of dollars are needed to arrange the infrastructure. It is through active contact and communication that the owners of Lake Bebnisi are ready to consider the proposals of the business community. The owners of the company believe that in addition to the investment attractiveness, the location is also growing as a tourist destination as the Bebnisi Lakes flow into the Zama Gorge. Zama Gorge is a regular place for local and international visitors or tourists. It is also possible to get to Bakuriani by road from Zama Gorge, which makes both the project and the location very attractive.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.